How do you deal with the workplace bully? My name is Vergia Davidson. I'm a mental health consultant. I help managers to keep top performers happy at work. Bullying is real. It can affect you in so many different ways. Here are a few. It affects your physical and emotional health. It could lead to bodily injury, social problems, emotional problems, high blood pressure, mood changes, panic attacks, stress, depression, ulcers, and it affects the way you perform, low self-esteem, absenteeism, and it can make it really hard to make decisions. These are just a few of the many things that could impact someone's ability to do their best work. So what do the stats say when it comes to workplace bullying? Workplace bullying is considered the second leading cause of stress at work. Managers and bosses represent 65% of bullies. And this is from the Disability Workplace Bullying Statistics, Research and Facts. Story time. I once had a client that worked at a Fortune 500 company. He was really keen, really eager, as he would put it, when he first started. But he was off because of sick leave. He was extremely stressed. He was very anxious. He often felt like, how can he actually contribute to this environment? How can he start all over again? So he was really discouraged. So we took some time to understand what the environment was and how maybe his behavior and other people's behavior interacted and impacted the circumstance. There was often berating, there was coercing, dismissing of his ideas and his attitudes, being placed in embarrassing situations, lies, other people taking credit for his work, minimizing his efforts, and excluding him. When we look at workplace bullying, it's the repeated behavior to control or hurt someone. And there was a lot of those signs there. But when it came to right before he decided to go off leave, he started to second guess himself because he felt like maybe it's a me problem. How could it be a system problem? I tried to talk to the manager, I tried to talk to other colleagues, but maybe I'm not strong enough. And this is what made him seek help. I want to use his story to help others that don't have a voice, that they can stand up to their workplace bully. But what about the hidden signs? The signs that you're not quite sure about? Let's take a look. Some signs may include deliberately excluding others from conversations, decision-making, or work-related events, purposely ignoring, disregarding, or avoiding someone, such as, oh, I forgot, when you actually didn't, or forgetting to invite them to a work meeting, concealing or distorting information to achieve personal goals, changing the subject or canceling meetings to divert attention from an issue, using shame or guilt to cause feelings of inadequacy, undue responsibility, or unworthiness, undermining someone's work to hamper their progress or ability to succeed, pitting people against one another to create competition or division in the work environment, changing someone's responsibility to disrupt their work and interfere with their sense of purpose, creating unrealistic or unattainable expectations, or constantly shifting expectations to ensure that person fails, unfairly criticizing people's work to hurt the person's self-esteem. I know this is a long list, but it's so important to look at those hidden signs that we might not see. So what can employees do to face that bully? 1, keep a private record. Documentation is your friend. I would start a running document of every instance that you experience these feelings and just almost be like a reporter. There are some things that are important to have in this document. The date and time, who's treating you badly, exactly what they're doing or saying, where it happened, who else was there. It's helpful if you can have a coworker who can back you up, and how it makes you feel. Because when we're in a situation that's stressful, sometimes our memory goes. We can't remember all the ins and outs. So having this private record can really make a difference. Number 2, check your workplace policy on bullying. The more you're familiar with your rights, the more empowered you'll feel. Number 3, ask the bully to stop. I know that could be a big step, especially because you might not want the behavior to continue. But by sharing your feelings, whether in an email or verbally, it can set the precedent that you actually said something. If you don't feel comfortable doing it on your own, gather someone else to help you. It's important to be professional, avoid retaliation, use assertive words like, I feel this way. Really using your communication skills to say that this is not okay, but at the same time being respectful to the other person. If this behavior escalates, you go to the next step. Manage your interactions. There are 2 ways to manage your interactions: to detach yourself emotionally so you can speak your truth. Here they are. 1, the DARVO: detach, assert, validate, and observe. This helps people cultivate detached empathy, and it helps them to stop being reactive, and it remains a non-reactive approach. Number 2, the BIFF technique. BIFF stands for brief, informative, friendly, and firm. It can be an effective way to cope with people that are gaslighting in the workplace. When confronted with a gaslighter, respond with that BIFF to help you to keep interactions brief, to the point, factual, and really not lengthy. It's so important not to go in a debating mode with other people, especially if they're not willing to hear you. These techniques help you to detach yourself, and it helps you to get the information across in an effective way. The next step is talk to a manager or an HR professional. Sometimes we've tried talking to the person, we've tried managing our interactions, but have we tried to gather support? Sometimes your manager can have insight to kind of the larger picture. And your HR professional, they can help you to remind you about the policies and what your rights are and what you can be empowered by. And number 6, if you've tried talking to someone, you've tried managing interactions, you tried all those things, don't be afraid to bring in the big guns. I know we don't always want to get it there, but if someone is repeatedly placing you in a situation that you're not okay with and you've tried to exhaust all your options, be sure to report it. Report this abuse, because if you're experiencing this, someone else might be experiencing this too. So what can employers do to ensure that their employees feel safe? You can, 1, check in with your employees, see what's going on, build relationships, because it's through the relationships that you'll really see what's going on. If you're just a talking head or a talking figure, no one's gonna come to you. Number 2, provide training on conflict management, psychological safety, management of stress. All these important trainings are so important to help people to feel empowered and have the tools to succeed. Number 3, you can follow up on the policies and procedures. Are you actually applying it within the workplace? Doesn't hurt to just have a refresher. Last but not least, continue to check in, because things can change in a heartbeat. So it's so important to have this culture of building a relationship and finding out what is going on. I hope these tips were helpful. Be sure to hit the like or subscribe button. I hope to see you soon. Take care.